6 in the morning, late in the fall, night was still holding on. First train coming through in 5 more minutes, the mountains waiting for the dawn. Uniform on, coffee in my hand, military pack beside my feet. Just another early morning, half awake and hardly fit to speak. An old man sat down beside me, worn-out jacket, newspaper in his hand. He looked at me, then at my uniform, and smiled like he already had me planned. Going somewhere important, soldier? I said, work. He laughed. That's not what I asked. For a moment we just sat there, watching our breath disappear. Then he said, funny thing about mornings, everybody's going somewhere. I smiled. That's usually what trains are for. He shook his head, no son, I didn't mean the train. He said, how long you been doing that? And nodded at the uniform I wore. I said, long enough to know the way before I've even reached the door. He smiled. Funny how we learn our roads, walk them every day the same. We know exactly where we're going, but sometimes not what for. I looked at him a little closer. Do you always talk this much at 6? He laughed and folded up his paper. Only when somebody listens, kid. And somewhere down the railway, I heard the first train coming near. He looked at me and said, 5 minutes isn't very long, but sometimes it's enough. I asked him, so where are you going? He smiled. Nowhere, I'm waiting for my wife. I looked along the empty platform, then back into his eyes. Which train is she coming in on? He smiled again. She isn't. For a second I said nothing. He looked out toward the mountains where the dark was turning blue. We met right here one morning, 50-something years ago. She missed her train, I missed my courage. Took me 3 weeks just to say hello. I laughed. So you're still waiting for her? He nodded.
Sometimes.
Not because I think she's coming back.
I just like remembering
the morning that she came. 5 minutes with a stranger on a cold and quiet morning. 2 lives sharing the same old bench while another day was dawning. You don't have to know a name to hear something that rings true. Sometimes someone passing through leaves a little light with you. 5 minutes with a stranger, then the whole world moves along. Funny how the shortest stories can stay with you so long. I asked him, how long has she been gone? He watched the morning sky.
Long enough to miss her,
not long enough to stop being grateful. Then he smiled. You know, I spent half my life trying to figure everything out. Why we're here, where we're going, what this whole damn thing's about. I thought I'd find the answers if I just lived long enough. Turns out life kept changing questions every time I caught one up. The station speaker crackled. My train was almost due.
He looked again at my uniform.
So soldier, you know where that train is taking you? Do you know where you're taking yourself?
I didn't have an answer.
He smiled. Good. Maybe that's a better place to start.
I asked him,
do you come here every morning? He shook his head.
I know only when I miss being young.
Does it help?
He grinned.
Ask me when I'm old.
The headlights found the railway
brakes began to sing. 5 minutes somehow felt much longer than 5 minutes ought to be. I threw my pack across my shoulder, heard the brakes against the rail. I turned and said, by the way, my friend, I never caught your name. He started to answer, the doors hissed open, and somehow I never heard it. 5 minutes with a stranger on a cold and quiet morning. 2 lives sharing the same old bench while another day was dawning. You don't have to know a name to hear something that rings true. Sometimes someone passing through leaves a little light with you. 5 minutes with a stranger and the whole world moves along. Funny how the shortest stories can stay with you so long. I found a seat beside the window, watched the platform drift away. He was sitting on that same old bench and raised his hand as if to say, well, maybe nothing, maybe everything. The mountains caught the morning, the darkness slowly disappeared. My coffee was getting colder, another working day was here. I knew where the train was taking me, I'm still working